friends, it's Terry Gaines, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. In this video tutorial, I'm going to share a card created with the Extraordinary Flora Washi Tape. This washi tape is absolutely beautiful. There's 10 yards of washi tape on here, and there are two different sections of floral images that can be cut out with the Extraordinary Floral die. This die is bundled with a stamp set that has 5 images. 3 of them are sentiments, a small background stamp, and then this is all one image. You can stamp it and you can cut it out with the die all at one time. I'm going to be only using the sentiment from the stamp set. I am going to be using the dies and the washi tape. I'll show you that in a moment. First, I'm going to talk about the materials for this card. My card base is basic white. It's 8.5 by 5.5. I've scored it at 4 1/4, folded it in half. It's going to open up with a fold on the top. I also have another piece of basic white that's 5 1/8 by 3 7/8, and I've added texture to this already with the Glass and Gardens embossing folders. You get both of these when you purchase them. They're small enough for the mini cut and emboss machine, or you can use your standard machine. I'm only going to be using the floral print here, and this is absolutely beautiful, and it goes so well with the washi tape and the stamp set. What I did ahead of time was I placed this in the folder, and I put the decorative edge just of the folder just on the edge of the paper, closed it up and ran it through my standard machine because this paper was hanging over the edge. It's too wide for the mini machine. Then I opened it up. I rotated this, placed it on the edge of this side, ran that through. And what it did was the second time through, it flattens this first image, but that's okay. I'm going to camouflage that with washi tape. So I just love how this turned out for the project. I also have a basic white banner. This is from the Stylish Shape banners. I cut that out ahead of time. And then my colored cardstock for this card I'm going to show you is Flirty Flamingo. It's 5 1/4 by 4. And I have a notation here that I cut the small banner out of the center. This is going to be sandwiched between these layers, so no one's going to know that that banner was cut out of there. And it's a great way to maximize your cardstock. I'm going to go ahead and adhere all of this together. I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal. I'm going to put that on the basic white cardstock. I like looking at opposite corners. I have about a 1/16 of an inch spacing of color. So when I look at opposite corners, I also look at each side of that corner to get everything even. And I got a little bit of an angle here with the camera, but I'm gonna say that should look pretty good right like that. Then I'm going to put the adhesive on the back of this and adhere this to my card base. And as I mentioned, the fold is on the top. Now, when I look at this, I talked about this was the first time I ran it through. This was the second time, and this is flattened. So this is wider here. I want that on the top. So I'm going to make sure I place that on the top. I'm going to look at opposite corners. I have about an 1/8 of an inch spacing on all sides with these measurements I have. So I'm going to place that down, and there we have that. So that's what my card is going to look like before the embellishments. Now, I did stamp this ahead of time. I used the congratulations from the stamp set I just shared with you. I adhered this to this banner, and then I cut it. I purposely moved the sentiment over to the side and cut off the white space here. To save some video time, I put some standard dimensionals on the back of this, and I'm going to attach this right on the edge of that basic white layer and put it about right here on my project. So now what I want to do is use these images on the washi tape to help decorate the card. So what I like to do is I like to put the washi tape on wax paper. I just use standard wax paper, and one side's got a little bit of a waxy side. That's the side I'm going to adhere my washi tape to. So I'm going to go ahead and roll this out, and I'm going Whoops, I gotta be careful here. That's the first time that happened. You gotta be careful, I guess. So I was going a little strong on pulling that off and it started to tear. So that might happen to you as well, so just be careful. So I'm gonna place this down and I'm gonna carefully unroll this so I don't tear it again. And as I unroll it, there are going to be, in this case, when I'm unrolling it, I have a section of purple flowers. These go well with fresh freesia. These darker ones go well with Highland Heather. And this die will cut out that whole section. Well, if you keep rolling this out, we have some pink flowers. And these pink flowers are the same images, just different colors. And as I mentioned, I carefully roll this out until I get the next section. This is the end of the next section. So I'm going to take my paper snips and cut this off. So I cut that off, and then I have the rest of that. I don't know if I told you, there's 10 yards of this. A friend of mine purchased this, Wanda did, and she put all of hers on white cardstock and rolled it out. There's 66 sections, and each of these sections have 16 images. That means with this 10-yard roll of washi tape, you have 1,056 images in that roll. That's pretty amazing. So as I mentioned, this can be cut out with that, and this one can be cut out with that. Well, I have Flirty Flamingo for my color here, so I'm going to use that. When I'm all done, I'm going to share this same card design using Lost Lagoon for the cardstock color in this section. So to cut this out, I'm going to use my mini cut and emboss machine. What I like about the cut and emboss machines, on the platform, they give you diagrams of how to use this. I'm going to be die cutting. So I want platform 1. I need 2 of the clear plates. They're number 2. So platform 1, then you have a clear plate. Then you put the paper down that you're going to cut. We're going to cut the pink flowers. Then you put the die down, and then you put the other plate on. But I want to make sure that this does not shift. So I'm going to line up the dies. I typically look at opposite corners to start out with. And I think that looks pretty good from the angle I have. Once I look at opposite corners, I do look at other images. Now I want to keep that in place. I'm going to use these transparent sticky notes that I got at the Dollar Tree. I take a paper snips and I cut into a few sheets, and it's not cut all the way through, but what I can do then is just pick up a tab and pull it off, and it just tears. So the stickiness is about an inch on the edge, so I'm going to hit the platform. I'm going to put it on the die, the wax paper, and the clear plate on that end. On this other end, I'm going to put that down on the die and the washi tape. That's going to help keep it in place. I like these because they're clear. You can see through them. So I'm going to then put my second plate on here. So I've got my sandwich. I'm going to bring in the cut and emboss machine. This is the mini one. And everything is still in good position there. So how this works is you put your sandwich in here. Once the handle starts to move, that tells you that you've got a grip of this. The machine has a grip of this. I can let go of the plates. I can hold the handle and crank it through, and it's going to die cut all of those images at the very same time. Now you can repeat this to cut the purple flowers out, but I'm going to save that for later because we're going to only be working with these flowers. So I'm going to move everything else out of the picture here and just get these flowers to... So just love how this looks with the wax paper. It looks like it's on vellum. It pretty much keeps the transparent color as if you have the washi tape. So now we have all of these images. Like I mentioned, there's 16 images. You got to make sure you get them all out of the die. And now I'm going to decorate my card. Now, my tutorial is to give you all the details so you can duplicate this project. So I'm going to just have all of these here, bring my silicone craft mat. I'm going to be using my Stampin' Seal. I'm also going to use mini dimensionals and standard dimensionals. So what I'm going to do is start out with some greenery pieces. I'm going to put a greenery piece over on that end and over on this end, just to camouflage that area that got flattened with the second die. I'm just going to put my adhesive on part of this. The beauty of this wax paper, it's going to give you a layered look. And I'm just going to put adhesive on a portion of that. So I'm going to start out with a couple greenery pieces here. Then what I'm going to do is take and just kind of sort my flowers a little bit. I'm going to pop some of these up with dimensionals. So what I'm going to do is set those aside up here. And all these little flowers that are by themselves, I'm going to put on with dimensionals, and this one. The rest of these I'm going to put down with adhesive. I'm going to use my seal. You can use mini glue dots to do this. I'm going to start out with this one, and I'm just putting the adhesive behind the flower area and letting the greenery parts be kind of free, and they then kind of have a layered look there. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to take this flower with the greenery, put some adhesive on that, and I'm going to tuck this one. I'm going to just reposition this one down a little bit and put this one right here. Now you can do this in any fashion that you would like to do this. I'm going to just kind of repeat a pattern that I did on a previous one. So I'm going to place that down. I'm leaving the ones with dimensionals to put on last. So I'm just kind of filling in some white space right here. Now I want to have some of the flowers going in the down the bottom here. So I'm going to keep that cluster of flowers together. I'm going to put these little roses down here. I'm going to take this little greenery piece and put that here. I'm going to use all of these embellishments that were cut out. Now I'm going to go ahead and take these and put some dimensionals behind them. Now these smaller ones are too small for a standard dimensional, so I'm going to use the mini ones. You can cut your standard ones also if you wanted to do that. I'm just going to use these mini ones. I'm going to pop those up a little bit, and for this one I'm going to use a large one. So I'm going to first put the large one on. I'm going to place that guy right here. I'm going to take these mini ones, and you know what I'm going to do first? I'm going to put the rest of this greenery in here. And I'm going to go ahead and shuffle that a little bit. And I'm going to place this little guy right here. Each time you do this, it's going to look a little different, and that's okay. That's the beauty of crafting. You can change this up. So now I'm going to put these two of the four flowers. I'm going to put the two larger ones on first. And then I'm going to put the two smaller ones on. And sometimes it's hard to get that little backing off. I'm going to put that one right here. And I'm going to put this one right here. So there I have used all of the images with that cut or that section of the washi tape, and I just love how that card turned out. Now I shared with you I have another card that I created using the Lost Lagoon and the purple flowers, and these are the pink flowers. Now I have been sharing some other cards using this bundle and the washi tape and the folder. I have shared 4 other cards that I have created, and have video tutorials on all of these. You can find them on my YouTube channel, or you can find the video tutorials are on my YouTube channel. The project sheets with measurements and photos and supply list are on my blog. If you purchase the washi tape, the bundle, or these framed scenes that I use for some of the cards, this die set, I will email you a PDF that has all 5 of these projects I shared on my YouTube channel. It will have a link that you can click to the YouTube channel, a link directly going to the project sheet, or you can use the QR codes, and I will complete it with this last project. And this I'll email it to you. If you save it on your computer, you can click on it. If you print it, you can use the QR code with your smartphone or your tablet and get right to the project sheet or the video. That will be a little thank you gift along with my other thank you gifts I give for customers who select me as their demonstrator. I appreciate everybody who supports my Stampin' Up! Business. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me. I would love to have you subscribe to my YouTube channel, to like my videos and watch my videos. Take care and happy creating.